Well, the CEO job is primarily to run a software business, and we've got about 2,200 employees at MicroStrategy and thousands of customers. I started that business 33 years ago, and I love it. But Fong, who's our president as of now, is a very good operating officer. And we've been working on a succession plan with him for about 4 years, making him first chief operating officer and then president about 2 years ago. And when he was president and CFO. We entered into a Bitcoin strategy. Our balance sheet has swelled by billions and billions of dollars. And we decided that the best thing for the business is to bring in a full-time CFO. We did that, Andrew Kang, in May of this year. And that was the catalyst that allowed us to elevate Fong to be president and CEO. And I have been wanting to assume the role of executive chairman. So this is my decision, many, many years in the making. As executive chairman, I'm going to stay engaged in the business. Many people don't realize I'm the controlling shareholder of the company, so I'm the chair of the board. I'll remain the chair of the investments committee that oversees our Bitcoin acquisition strategy. And my primary role will be advocacy, education, and innovation, working on technology, leadership opportunities. And then Fong will run the day-to-day business along with the support of Andrew, our new CFO.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Michael Saylor, of course, and he wants everybody to believe that this was a good decision. But today's article in the Wall Street Journal by Paul Vigna, he's not so believing. He writes that the decision of the Bitcoin strategy has backfired on Saylor, and it's backfired badly amid these mounting losses tied to Bitcoin. You see, MicroStrategy raised $2.4 billion in debt and loans and issued $1 billion in equity and went all in on Bitcoin. But on Tuesday, MicroStrategy announced that its seventh quarterly loss in 8 quarters was recorded. So, since he began buying Bitcoin in 2020, it has not been a pretty sight. Shares are down 49% year to date, 78% down from its record. And the company is sitting on 130,000 Bitcoin, valued at $3 billion at today's current market price. Problem is, he's going to run into not being able to service his debts very soon. And his tweets, they have been encouraging people to just borrow more money and buy more Bitcoin and never sell. I mean, come on. As a as a swing trader, that is definitely not the advice I would give anybody. I mean, that is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I think the absurdity is that he's been propped up as a poster child for the Bitcoin community, which is really a shame because I think he has done nothing but damage the brand. I think everyone would agree that today's biggest news is about BlackRock, and they are partnering with Coinbase. They're going to offer BlackRock institutional clients access to crypto. This is huge, and it gave Coinbase even an 18% boost in their stock today. This is going to be a much more balanced approach. I mean, we're talking about Coinbase Prime. They offer 200 digital assets. It's not all in on one asset. That's just, again, I don't want to harp on Saylor, but this is just really ridiculous. You need to be diversified in this space, and there's going to be lots of winners because there are lots of problems being solved out there with blockchain and crypto. But what is so incredible about this announcement is BlackRock has $8.5 trillion under management. That just gives you an idea of how much money is going to flow into the overall crypto market. The next news is the biggest news for the XRP holders. And no, it's not about this name change. This name change, which also coincided with Chris Larsen stepping down as a director, is really just a name change and a reorganization where they are moving the company in Europe to Ripple Markets UK. And I'm sure it has everything to do with Brexit. Anyway, the news that is big for the XRP holder is about Tranglo. Tranglo is the payments company that Ripple took a 40% stake in, and in 2021, they really embarked on this strategic partnership to scale RippleNet and also on-demand liquidity. This is the ODL solution that uses the digital asset XRP as a bridge. Tranglo is now in 150 countries, and they have 2,000 wallets and work closely with a lot of banks. They processed 3.3 billion in 2021. Now, the parent company of Tranglo is the Seamless Group. These guys are all about e-wallets, banks, and remittances throughout Asia and Europe. And their announcement today is that they are going public, and they're going to do it through a SPAC, which is a special purpose acquisition corporation. That company is Infint. Infint and Seamless will combine, and they will create a brand new company, which will be then traded publicly. And the expected close to this transaction is the first quarter of 2023, about the same time that the SEC versus Ripple case is to be finalized. This step broadens the capabilities and reach big time, enabling to further depths globally for the company, as this release states. Now, they believe they've just scratched the surface and will become a vertically integrated fintech. You know, they have 4 central bank licenses: Malaysia, Singapore, the UK, and Indonesia. This is going to give Ripple a tremendous amount of credibility. And for on-demand liquidity, it's going to open so many new doors. I'm going to let Naveen Gupta take you out on this video where he talks just for about a minute and a half on happiness, how he brings happiness to his world in Ripple and to others that he encounters. And I learned something interesting about Naveen early in his career. When he was in hotel management, he learned Japanese. So that helped him get into the Thunderbird School in Arizona, I guess is how he puts it. I can't wait for an encounter where I can meet him face to face and we can both speak to each other in Japanese. That would be really fun. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
What do you do in Ripple to create happiness, and do you think happiness is important, and how do you think it works for you?
So to my mind, really the purpose of life is happiness, right? Why are we accumulating either material wealth or even spiritual wealth, or like hanging out with our loved ones? Because truly at the end of the day, we want to be happy, right? You've heard a lot of stories to say the guy sitting on the tree to say, hey, why are you running around, right? I'll accumulate money, then I'll be happy. The guy says, I'm happy today, right? So one is happiness is an attitude, right? We have to decide to be happy, right? And then 2 more things that I would add. One is you can't make anybody else happy till you are happy inside. And what I mean by happy is contented, right? It is something inside you essentially says, God has given me a lot, or nature has given me a lot, and I have gratitude for it. I have got so much, and hence there is some contentment in you, right? Because that is important, because if I'm discontented, then I'm just pretending to kind of pass it on, right? So that's one thing, right? And then the second thing that would happen is do just some kind of service, do some kind of a seva, just have some kind of a yes mind to say, I want to be useful for this universe, right? And suddenly the opportunities will come to you. Suddenly somebody will say, Rohit, I just need help to lift this box. And that's perfectly fine. We don't need to kind of move mountains, but just being available to lift that box is good enough. The universe will give us a lot of chances, but just by that attitude, to say, hey, today,
I
how can
want to
Naveen be
create-
useful?
I want to create value for someone I talk to. Yeah.
Absolutely.